Weeks ago, we looked at annuities and as an investment tool. Now, another option for people planning for retirement is to use life insurance called variable universal life. And once again, we have in studio Jonathan McCoy here to explain how this works. Dude, I like your investment talk every week because, again, it gives me ideas of what I should do with my portfolio, and I feel like the more educated I am, the better choices I'm going to make. So please don't discount anything, okay?
Yeah, right.
I get something from it every single week.
Something new every week, yeah.
So let's talk about variable universal life. I'm kind of unfamiliar with that, so pros and cons of this strategy.
So some pros, some cons. On the con side, a lot of variable universal life, first of all, it's where the cash value of a life insurance policy is linked to the performance of mutual funds, which we know can go up and down in value. So long term, those types of plans really have to be monitored closely. Sometimes they can come attached with not necessarily exorbitantly high fees, but fees that people need to be aware of. So it's important to understand how all of your financial products are working to begin with. But variable universal life is one of the most complicated and convoluted products that you can purchase.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's very important if you own a variable life policy to understand how that cash value has performed. Oftentimes when people see people go years without reviewing their policies, the cash value underperforms and you end up with sometimes a little bit of a financial mess you have to clean up by not monitoring.
With a loss and then with fees on top of that,
Correct.
I'm sure. Let's talk about precious metals. I remember hearing radio commercials for silver, it seemed like a few years ago.
And they're all over right now.
Saying that this is a huge investment tool that we got to think about. Is a person, I mean, we always talk about diversification of our portfolio, but should we put money in precious metals as part of our strategy?
Well, you're right. It can be a diversification tool. I mean, precious metals over the last 13, 14, 15 years have not really been a great growth opportunity vehicle. Some people use them as sort of that rainy day or worst case scenario, the sky is falling type fund. You know, I would always say that it's hard to buy a gallon of milk with precious metals these days.
You can't take your gold bar into Dillon's and be like, here you go.
Yeah, exactly. So like you mentioned, evaluation of any asset, whether or not it's appropriate for your portfolio and how you're looking to diversify, it can potentially be appropriate for some folks, but don't take the pie in the sky approach that, oh, these things are just going to work out guaranteed. Yeah. I always say that there are new assets being created all of the time and may slowly start taking the place of precious metals in people's portfolios. So we have to understand that there is sort of a ceiling on performance of every asset class.
Yeah, very forward-looking as well. That's one of the things I think is really beneficial about you guys is you have all of your team under one roof to cover everybody's portfolio, everybody's strategy, everybody's taxes and accounting and everything. Is having that, you know, that whole team under one roof, that's just really helpful when it comes to planning for retirement.
It's helpful, and we find a lot of folks that we meet with today have not had that experience. So we find that we're sort of cleaning up the mess of what's been missed, especially from a tax planning standpoint. As people age through retirement, you talk about required minimum distributions have not been paid attention to. Maybe you could have saved money by paying taxes earlier. These are the types of things with our team at Market Tax Services in-house. We're bringing those CPAs into the conference room to be sure that that planning has started day one from the time that we meet somebody.
Yeah, and then your team has those conversations, you know, on whenever they review your portfolio, so everybody's aware of where everybody else is. Yeah. That way nothing falls through the cracks.
That's exactly right.
Okay, excellent. Well, we do have a viewer question. This one is going to be from Tom. Tom writes, I just turned 64 and I've worked at the same plant for 26 years. They're offering the option when I retire for my pension to be paid out in one lump sum payment or to get it monthly. Now, if I took it all at once, is there a way to still get a monthly payment but still keep the money growing?
There are options, absolutely. It's important to understand what sort of income benefit might that pension pay if you left the money in the pension, but also we find that some people are a little bit shy on how much cash value or liquid available money that they can gain access to. So sometimes pensions will offer some lump sum with some guaranteed lifetime income payment. We can also shop the entire market to see what kind of guaranteed lifetime income could you get elsewhere while maintaining access to that cash. It starts with analysis. Are you going to be better off leaving the money in the pension or not? Is an important question to ask and something that we analyze from day one. All
right, well, we are out of time, but thank you very much, Jonathan. If you guys have questions to schedule that complimentary consultation, submit your questions. Visit AskOurAdvisor.com or call 816-548-2000. We'll take your questions, even meet one-on-one free of charge. And if you include your address, Market Advisory Group will send you a free gift.